There's four types of brothers, four types of black men that date outside their race. The first one I'm going to discuss is the most devastating one of all. The first black man I'm going to describe is the black man who's never received love from his black mother. You know, she beats him, she abuses him, she, neglects him, she calls him all types of names. She hates the sight of him because every time she looks at him, she's reminded of his father. She hates her baby father because, he probably left her alone, neglected her. He probably abused her too. So she takes out all her frustrations out on her son. So this type of brother may grow up and date outside his race because his first interaction with a black woman was met with so much hatred and resentment. So he decides, I'm not dating black women at all because if my mom treats me like this, that means any black woman will treat me like this as well. So he dates outside his race. The second type of black man that dates outside his race is the man that's all he sees is other people. He grew up in a different neighborhood. He grew up, let's say, for example, he grew up in an all-white neighborhood. He went to school. He seen nothing but white children. He goes to high school, same thing. He goes up, he's in an environment that's predominantly white. So naturally, he's going to be interested in white women, right? If he was born in Asia, all he sees was Asian women. He's going to be interested in that. If he grew up in a Latin country, all he sees is Latin women. So he's going to have a desire for that. He was practically raised in a society where he doesn't see black women. So he doesn't interact with black women like that. So this is why he chooses to date outside his race. The third type of black man that dates outside his race is the black man who hates himself. Why does he hate himself? Because since a youth, he's been told that he's ugly. He's been told that he's not beautiful. Children clown him, women clown him. So he develops a self-hatred for himself. He internalizes that black is ugly, and he's been hurt so bad that he thinks if I marry outside my race, maybe my children won't have to go through that. So he lightens he's lightening the race. That's his thinking. He hates black women because they were the source of his pain. Thereby, he hates himself because he thinks black is ugly. Sometimes, too, he thinks black is ugly because this is what society thinks. Maybe he wasn't hurt by a black woman. Maybe he just, watches TV and he's been indoctrinated by the media to hate himself and to date outside his race. It's very common. He wants to be integrated into other societies, white society, Asian society, Latin society. He wants to be integrated into that. And he's gonna, whatever black people like, black people, your stereotypical black person, whatever they like, he hates it. He hates it. Whatever white people like, he's gonna love it. Whatever Asian people like, he loves it. Whatever Latin people like, he's gonna love it. But whatever black people like, he's not gonna love it because he hates himself. The fourth black person, or the fourth black man that hates himself, to me, I think is the most common type of black men that date outside their race. And this man, his first choice was black women. Since a youth, he's always loved black women. However, black women didn't like him. They thought he was corny, they thought he was boring, they thought he had no swag. You know, he speaks proper English, he probably watches anime, he's probably very book smart, very educated, speak extremely well. He's not your stereotypical black man. He's probably a homebody. You know, his idea of fun is just different. He's tried so hard to date black women, but he's met with failure every single time. So he grows up, he just doesn't want to be rejected no more. So he takes his talents, takes all of himself, his resources, and goes date outside his race. I almost forgot. Originally, I said there was 4 types of black men, but there was this one last type of black man. Unlike the previous 4 types of black men, this black man, his mom probably treated him wonderfully. He probably grew up in a black neighborhood, and he probably do love himself. He doesn't hate, you know, he doesn't suffer from self-hatred, right? Now, but he's just generally curious about dating other races, right? His preference is other races. Now, he will tell you everything is colorblind, that he would date black women as well, but that's not really true. I believe he doesn't want to say that he doesn't like black women. He doesn't like black women's features because he doesn't want to come across as an asshole. So he prefers other races of women. And the reason why I call him a deceiver, because he doesn't want to outright say, I don't like black women, I don't like their features, because that'll make him look bad. So he thinks, oh, love is love, but his preference is, you know, other people of other races. Okay, now, if I was to quantify this and put it in a number, statistically speaking, I would say the black man that gets rejected by black women, whose first choice was black women, I would say that makes up 50% of black men that date outside their race, right? I would say 20% is the black man that's encapsulated by other races, like he lives in white society, or he lives in Asian society, or he lives in Latin society. I would say, so that's 70%, right? So now I would say another 20% is the black man that suffers self-hatred, right? So that makes up 90% right there. I would say 5% is the men that whose preferences are just other races. And another 5% is, you know, whose black mother hated the side of him and never showed him love. So that's what I think. So if you agree with me, comment down below. You know, if you don't agree with me, still comment down below. Follow and subscribe. And yeah.